Hi, I'm Joanna. Welcome to my channel. This is my 23rd video. Today I'm going to review 4 books, 3 fiction, 1 nonfiction. Let's get started. The first book is A Marriage at Sea by Sophie Elmhirst. This author is a British journalist and she has mastered the art of storytelling. This is a fantastic book. I actually like the cover. It's so significant, so this is one of my favorite covers. The setting is in the 70s, and it's a true story, based on a true story. It's about this couple who are polar opposites, very unique, individuals. One is very outgoing and extrovert, and the other is a little bit more introverted. But they do find each other, and they marry, and they decide to sell everything they have and buy a boat and sail across the world. So they do this. They find themselves in the middle of the ocean, and there is a wounded whale. He flops on their boat, and then the boat is going down, right? So they survive on a dinghy for 118 days. So the first part of the book, the author talks about how they survived, how they discovered who they were, their inner strengths, and learned more about each other. Their creativity to survive was remarkable. The prose are brilliant. There is an urgency to turn the page and absorb every word, what's going to happen next. The second part of the book talks about their post-survival, how they are dealing with fame, how this experience impacted their marriage, themselves, and it's just a beautiful love story. The author's prose are so brilliant. I enjoyed this book tremendously. This is a treat. I give this 5 stars, hands down. Book number 2, The Homemade God by Rachel Joyce. The setting is in Italy, and there's a villa that sits on an island, and its beauty is intense, like the cover of the book. So this book is about a father who's a widow and his 4 children. There's Netta, Susan, Goose for Gustav, and Iris. The mother died after giving birth to Iris. And so the father was an artist and pretty much a hands-off, parenting father. Well, the children had many au pairs and nannies, but they never stayed long because the father would end up sleeping with them. So the children grew very close together and raised themselves, depended on each other. But as with all children, the most important thing to each of them was to be seen or noticed and to be loved by their father. And this affects each one of them very differently. Netta tries to be the overseer of the family. She becomes a lawyer. Netta marries a much older man. Goose, he just feels rejected and irrelevant. And Iris, invisible. So the father falls in love with Isabella, a 27-year-old. This infuriates the children. They refuse to go and meet her. Finally, they get a call from Isabella notifying them their father has passed away. So instantly, the children are suspicious and believe that Isabella had something to do with their father's death. So they go to the villa, all 4 siblings, and this is the first time they are together for a very long time. So they go to the villa to sort things out, and what they find through the help of Isabella is, what comes is an unraveling of family secrets from each sibling. This author writes a family story that's believable, empathetically hurtful, and loving. Listen to her prose. They'd woken to a landscape freshly revived, a dripping calm, the pines giving out a juicy scent of resin, the color sharp and clear as if whipped with a cloth. There was that melting breeze again, soft and lovely. It sent little wavelets up and down the lake that twinkled when the sunlight bounced on them. So I think those are beautiful prose. This novel is so different from her other novels, like the Unlikely Pilgrimage of Harold Fry or Miss Benson's Beetle. By the way, Miss Benson's Beetle is my all-time favorite. You may be disappointed if those are your expectations because it is so different from those novels. I like this book very much. I enjoy the story, the family dynamics, because you find yourself understanding and sympathizing and enjoying each character. She just has a gift. I give this book 5 stars. Book number 3, The Poppy Fields by Nikki, Erlick. In this novel, there is the poppy fields, and it's kind of a therapeutic place where a person goes to be put to sleep for an undetermined amount of time. The reason people go there is to forget a memory, a very painful memory they have. It could be the loss of someone, or a divorce, or something traumatically painful. They could be asleep for 3 weeks, for a month, just undetermined. But when that person does wake up, they no longer have that pain of the memory. They have the memory, they just look at the memory abstractly, sometimes indifferently, because they don't feel the pain. Now, there might be some people that experience similar pain, and then when they get together, that person who was asleep treats it casually, so that affects their relationship with other people. This kind of therapy invokes lots of questions, pros and cons of this, which is really what's intriguing about the book. So the novel follows 4 main characters. There's Sasha, Ray, and Ava. They pick up an 18-year-old on the way, and her name is Sky. She's the youngest of the group, but she comes with, packed with the most wisdom. We follow each character and learn individually why they have chosen to go to the poppy fields. After reading this novel, I continue to find myself considering the pros and the cons. And I do appreciate that when a person is hurting so desperately, so deeply and profoundly, they just want it to stop. I get it. And so those are the pros. But I think the cons outweigh that, because I believe that pain is necessary for a person to grow, to become more empathetic, more interesting. It's not fun. I don't like it, but there you go. I enjoyed this book. I liked it very much. I give this 4.5 stars. Book number 4, my nonfiction book, Who Deserves Your Love by K.C. Davis, LPC, How to Create Boundaries to Start, Strengthen, and End Any Relationship. I found this author to be insightful and non-imposing. Her book is a short read, but it's packed with little nuggets that help us think differently. This author touches on so many issues that people generally encounter in various relationships. So having or learning awareness is huge. It's why we behave the way we do, why we react the way we do, and why we perceive things the way we do. Another one is becoming aware or recognizing our vulnerabilities, and she guides us on how to manage that, how to regulate our emotions. I liked that I didn't feel judged on whether or not, I want to have that difficult conversation with someone, or, if I really want to hold on to my values, etc. It seemed like she was objectively guiding me through these difficult relationships. And that could be, my spouse or my children or, a coworker, etc. One thing I found helpful as well with her kind of therapy is that not only does she not judge, but she helps you keep that self-respect. In the midst of these differences you have in the relationships. So when you are going to go, back and forth with a certain person, she guides you on doing that and also keeping your self-respect. I think that really does help a conversation. It helps with, an argument. Again, this book probed me to ask questions of myself. I do want to have better relationships and while keeping my self-respect. I like this book. It'll be on my shelf. It's a great resource book that you can, refer to over and over again. Very helpful. I give this 4 stars.